Good morning, students. Hope you all have learned the portions which we have completed. We were seeing basic terms in accounting. We have done up to revenues. Today we will see the remaining terms used in accounting. Expenses. Costs incurred by a business in the process of earning revenue are known as expenses. Generally, expenses are measured by cost of asset consumed or services used during an accounting period. The usual items of expenses are depreciation, rent, wages, etc. Next it is expenditure. Spending money or incurring a liability for some benefit, service or property received is called expenditure. If the benefit of expenditure is exhausted within a year, it is treated as expense. It is also called revenue expenditure. So, revenue expenditure and expenses are same. So, when you say expenses, it is of recurring nature. It means again and again we may have to incur it. So, it is of recurring nature. Next one, if the benefit of expenditure lasts for more than a year, it is treated as an asset. It is also called capital expenditure. For example, purchase of land or building, purchase of machinery. Only once in a while we are purchasing these items and it is called asset, and the expenditure incurred we call it as capital expenditure. Next one, profit. The excess of revenue of a period over its related expenses during the accounting year is called profit. Profit increases the investment of owners. Next, gain. A profit that arises from events or transactions which are incidental to business, such as sale of fixed asset, appreciation in the value of asset, etc. It is called gain. So the difference between profit and gain is profit is out of the normal course of business and gain it is out of the sale of assets. Next, loss. The excess of expenses of a period over its related revenue is termed as loss. It decreases the owner's equity. It also refers to the money or money's worth without receiving any benefit in return. Next it is discount. Discount is the deduction in the price of the goods sold, offering deduction of agreed percentage of list price at the time of selling goods is called trade discount. After selling the goods on credit basis, the debtors may be given certain deduction in the amount due in case if they pay the amount within the stipulated period or earlier. This deduction is given at the time of payment of the amount payable. Hence, it is called cash discount. Next, it is voucher. The documentary evidence in support of a transaction is known as voucher. For example, when we buy goods, we get a cash memo. When we travel by a bus, we'll get a ticket. When we travel by a train, again you're getting a ticket. All those are vouchers. Next one, goods. It refers to the products in which the business unit is dealing. That is, in terms of which it is buying and selling or producing and selling. The items that are purchased for use in the business are not called goods. Next it is drawings. Withdrawal of money or goods by the owner from the business for personal use is known as drawings. When we saw capital, it is investing the money in the business, and when it is drawings, it is withdrawal of money from the business. Next one, purchases. Purchases are total amount of goods procured by the business on credit and on cash for use or resale. In trading concern, purchases are made of merchandise or resale with or without processing. In a manufacturing concern, raw materials are purchased, processed further into finished goods and then sold. Purchases may be cash purchases or credit purchases. Next one, stock. Stock is a measure of something on hand, that is goods, spares and other items in the business. It is called stock in hand. In a trading concern, the stock in hand is the amount of goods which are lying unsold as at the end of an accounting period and is called closing stock. In a manufacturing company, closing stock comprises raw materials, semi-finished goods and finished goods on hand on the closing date. Similarly, opening stock is the amount of stock at the beginning of the accounting period. Next it is debtors. Debtors are persons or entities who owe to an enterprise an amount for buying goods and services on credit. The total amount standing against such persons or entities on the closing date is shown in the balance sheet as sundry debtors on the asset side. Next, creditors. Creditors are persons or entities who have to be paid by an enterprise an amount for providing the enterprise goods and services on credit. The total amount standing to the favor of such person or entities on the closing date is shown in the balance sheet as sundry creditors on the liability side. So these are the terms which you have to learn thoroughly so that we can do the problems. You can take down these notes in your accountancy notebook and learn.